Hi, my name is David Wolman. I'm an author and a contributing editor at Wired Magazine, and this is my latest book, The End of Money. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you at HITEC in Minneapolis, and I want to tell you a little bit more about my keynote presentation. I'm going to be talking about something that is as ubiquitous as it is overlooked: the cash and coins in your pocket, in your wallets, in your purse, or maybe the cash that you have long since decided to ignore because you don't really use it much anymore. What is the role of this material, these objects in our lives and in the economy and in our businesses anymore? The whole project for me started a couple of years ago. I bumped into a small newspaper item about the costs of manufacturing pennies and nickels in the economy. It turns out right now it costs about 2.5 cents per unit per penny. Costs about 9 or 10 cents per unit per nickel. And you don't have to be an economist to know that those numbers are completely upside down. And it sent me down this path of wondering about the costs of cash in modern life. And eventually I wrote a short essay for the magazine calling not just for the end of small coinage, but for the end of cash entirely. And I really didn't hold back. I wrote that cash is this germ-saturated, carbon-intensive, expensive relic of a bygone era. Let's stick a fork in it already. And what happened is it ignited this very hostile response from the public. People really across various ideological and political perspectives were not so happy with this idea that cash, even if they don't use it very much anymore, could someday be kaput, this idea of the cashless future. And to me, it was really odd, this distinction between the fact that cash is already so marginalized in the modern economy, and yet when you tell people that fact in and of itself and suggest to them that maybe cash is so expensive and inconvenient now that we should get rid of it, they really jump to its defense, like you've insulted their mother or something. And so that said to me, this subject is worthy of something more than just a 600-word essay. And actually, there was this one guy who wrote to me. He said, do you even know what money is? And it really set me back for a moment. I know some of the textbook ideas that anyone would read in Economics 101. And yet he had sort of called me out on something. And in a way, the entire book project is an answer to this question. What is money? But through the particular lens of this question of the fate of cash and an argument that cash's fate is dubious and that may not be a very bad thing. So during my presentation, I'll be explaining a little bit more about the genesis of the book project and how I went about putting it together and my world travels to do all the reporting. And then I'll touch on some of the major themes that come up in the book. This more honest accounting of the costs of cash, really booming interest and enthusiasm in alternative currencies, virtual currencies, digital currencies, community currencies, quasi-currencies. And then lastly, of course, technologies, whether it's mobile phones or virtual currencies like Bitcoin, which we're seeing in the newspapers every other day now. All of these together are having this great impact on cash. You can think of it almost like a death by 1,000 cuts. And I'm not here to tell you that we're at cut number 922 or anything like that. But these forces are ganging up on cash like never before, and they're pushing it to the periphery. And I think that's fascinating because of cash's place in our lives and in our history. And I also think it's fascinating because those forces are subsequently going to have such a great impact on the economy, on society, and on businesses. So I look forward to meeting up with all of you in Minneapolis. Also, be watching for details on how to attend a special meet and greet session with me. Thanks very much.